I'm at Stone Berlin, and randomly, while I'm here, I've bumped into Logan from Beavertown. So I've come all the way to Germany to find beers that I can get locally available.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Why are you here? You're part of the Cantoberfest that Stone are doing here in Berlin, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which is essentially promoting good beer in cans, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. I think I got a call from Greg a couple of months ago saying that he was going to put on this event over the month of October called Cantoberfest. And it was about purveying the greatness of cans and why many of us have decided to go into cans and the positives behind that. I'm just, I'm honoured to be here, obviously, and for Greg to have reached out and to come out here for the afternoon and hook back in with the guys. I've been here a few times before, so it's nice to see the brew team again and some of the bar guys and just hang out and see how they're progressing themselves. But also, to talk to people about cans. And I know Greg and the guys at Stone have made a big push towards this, particularly in Europe. And we did likewise 3.5 years ago, I think, along with 4 Pure and Camden at roughly the same time in London, and it's been tremendous ever since. I was worried, similarly, I think, to probably how maybe the guys are feeling here, how it's going to be received. And as we were just talking about, 3.5 years ago, we didn't know which way it was really going to go, and I was shitting myself. We just invested in a canning line and we had a bottling line, and cans just flew. Within 3 months, cans were 97% of our small pack, and then we sold the bottling line. Yeah. So that was a waste of money.
So that was a very easy decision to you to make, wasn't it? To go exclusively to cans.
Yeah.
What do you think that says about the UK market right now? Because let's be honest, it's very much dominated by canned beer right now. There are still lots of great breweries putting out lots of great beer in bottles.
Yes.
All you see people talking about on social media are canned products, really. They're the ones that really ignite people's imagination and their discussion. So where do you think, is that's just going to continue in the UK, do you think?
I think, as I said back in 3.5 years ago, wind back, I was worried how it was going to go. And I think we were particularly lucky because the demographic of new craft beer drinker, of new beer drinker, if you like, that appreciates a great beer is just up for trying something new and vibrant and that takes their eye, and lo and behold, a lot of the beer that was going into can was great and has continued to improve since then. I think, a lot of people have started at a basic entry level like we did, and we've invested, I think we invested nearly £500,000 in our new canning line 2 years ago. So we knew, we had to really look after our beer in cans, and now we get amazing levels of low dissolved oxygen, and the stability and the freshness is bang on point. So with all those things, you've got great beer in cans, and then you've got a demographic of drinker that is up for trying stuff and supporting things that they believe in. And the can, I thought that we were going to have to go out there as Beavertown and educate why the can was this way, why it proved so positive to beer. And I thought there was going to be a big stigma towards it because, as we know, there's a lot of 6 for a fiver in the UK, but that mentality is changing. And even, over the last year, a lot of the big grocers, the big supermarkets have really embraced canned beer, and you see Tesco wiping out 25-30% of their industrialised lagers to replace it with majority canned beer, and it's there's just a willingness, I think, and that comes from being maybe from being British. Although people think we're reserved at times, we actually like to give things a go. And lo and behold, we've got great beer in cans now, so happy days.
So, interesting point you mentioned there about sort of canned beer in supermarkets. That's still not a market that you guys have really gone into.
No, not at all. No.
Is that purely out of because you still want to supply the independent market, or is it because you've not found, for want of a better phrase, the right deal in terms of getting your beers into supermarkets? Because recently, I suppose, we've seen one of the big announcements is Magic Rock now supplying some of their beers to M&S, which was quite a surprise in terms of suddenly, you've got these beers appearing all over the place. What's your standpoint on supplying supermarkets?
I guess my motto over the last 3 years since moving into the brewery in Tottenham, which has given us a lot more capacity, is, and again, this has changed from let's just roll it back 6 years when I was still home brewing, to then being in Duke's in the barbecue joint where we supplied just Duke's, to then supplying just Hackney. My perception of what Beavertown is has changed massively, and my perception of what we are and what we can reach and who we can touch with beer in the market, and the relevance of great beer in the market has expanded, and it's blown me away, to be honest. So yeah, for the last 3 years of being in Tottenham, it's all about great beer on every street corner. That's my mission. Let's give people option. Let's allow people to walk down to the end of the road and buy a great IPA or a great Goza or an Imperial Stout instead of just a bog standard industrialized fizzy yellow beer, for want of a better word. Up until now we haven't. Of course we're really honoured to be working with people like Whole Foods and Booths further up north. But we do have plans to expand, and it would be great to be able to branch out and to be able to work with right partners to supply people on every street corner. And I think that time will come, and we've got great relationships out there that we just haven't been able to work with at present. And that's because also I've made a big kind of I guess a strategy, if you like, to work with bars, to get the beer on the bar, to get people pouring the beer, to get the barman interacting with the drinker, and to get people turned on when they go out and they go for a pint and they see Gamma Ray or Neckel or Lupuloid or whatever it might be, and they go, yes, Beavertown's in-house, wicked. And to build that relationship there, I think there's nothing better. I harken about the pub all the time, but there's no better place to talk or drink about anything, whether it's marriage or divorce or death or a new beer or what's on TV, than the pub. And I think if that all revolves around a great beer, and if that's Gamma Ray and Neckel or whatever it might be, then that's been our kind of main drive. And of course the cans to us are that perfect vessel, and we'd like to expand that in the future. But at the moment it's just been about a big kind of drive towards our service, towards on trade.
And you mentioned a couple of times there expansion. So last time we spoke was 3 years ago. It was just after you'd moved into the new premises, which was an expansion from a rapid expansion from your previous premises.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Into the new one. You've continued to expand in the last 3 years, getting the most out of your brewery space. Yeah. Opening up the Tempest project in the units opposite as well. Obviously, expansion is still on your mind. You can see it when you talk about it. You're a little bit torn in terms of where you're going. Are you almost
not in here?
No, but are you almost at a point where you've outgrown your site again, and are you looking to move again, or are you still trying to get the most out of where you are now?
We have outgrown our site for sure, and we are trying to get the most out of what we can do on site. And Team Beaver has been amazing in the way it's applying itself day in, day out to improve what we do, but to try and brew more. The investments that we've made around our team is obviously helping that team to grow, supporting that team to grow, and then investing in obviously more stainless is important. And new bits of equipment like a centrifuge has recently come online, which is something we should have probably invested in a while back, but we've eventually got round to it, and that's going to give us another 30 or 40% increase in production. So that's been a fascinating turn. And we realised that, at the end of this year, and then a full cycle next year, we're not going to be able to brew any more beer volume-wise on site in Tottenham. So, we've been planning for the last 12 months of where we're going to go, what we're going to do, what it's going to look like. And we're quite a long way down the road to making that happen, which is really exciting. There is going to be a new horizon for Beavertown, and Tottenham will hopefully stay as is, and that will have a massive part to play in our future with regards, as you say, the Tempest project and I see the I've always talked about beer as a canvas that we dance upon and create. And I think if you've got multiple levels of production, whether it's the the kind of 4-barrel kit that I started on, and then the 55 hect that we're on now, and then the new brewery. You've got many different angles to attack beer out there and stimulate people. And I think when this all comes off, it's going to allow us as a brewery to have maximal flexibility to do many great things. And that's the main thing.
It sounds like there are really exciting times ahead, and you talk about being able to do many more great things.
Yeah.
Let's also look at what you've recently done as well. So you've stepped on a little bit from just producing beer, and you've recently produced one of the UK's most innovative beer festivals in the Extravaganza, which was probably a first for the UK market in terms of what you were aiming to do with it.
Yeah.
Must have been a massive headache and many sleepless nights for you over it. But looking back on it, is it what you hoped it would be?
Beyond, way beyond. It was like my wedding day. I keep telling this to my wife and the guys, and she hates it. She's like, this wasn't our wedding day. This was your wedding day. This was all about Logan. I was like, well, yeah, I guess it was, but you were there with me. And no, again, the team absolutely excelled and kicked it out the park massively. Sam, brand and comms manager, and Kieran, our events manager, as a team, absolutely smashed it. And then everybody else who piled on in the last couple of weeks to help push it over the line did a great job. And the Skull and Tears, the volunteers that we had, made the day. I can't tell you, actually, without those guys, I know it sounds corny, but the level of attention and care that they put in on the day. I managed to get around, a few of the bars and check how everybody was doing, and those guys were absolutely phenomenal. They didn't drink, but they helped. They helped the brewery that they were with. They helped us. They worked with us. And then, the next day they had a great day, or the day before they had a great day. But without those guys, it wouldn't have been what it was. But as an execution of a dream of the last 4 or 5 years of traveling around the world and absorbing bits and pieces from many different festivals, I've been like a little kind of thief, just pinching little ideas like a little magpie and bringing them back to the nest. And that was the culmination of, I think, all those things. And the team absolutely pulled it off. And I think, whenever a brewery puts on a festival, it is, this is about the celebration of beer, but also the people that make it. So having those guys fly in from the 4 corners of the planet and celebrate with us was a massive occasion. And the after party, the brewers after party, was one hell of a celebration as well. I managed to get up there and stage dive, and it was just one of those dreamy nights when you look back at it and you think, God, we've achieved so much. And I think, rightly, as you said, I think what we've managed to pull off is hopefully something special for the UK and for London as a beer capital, and the UK as a beer capital within the world. It's hopefully we can inspire people to continue to do better, to improve what they're doing, because that's what we try and do every time. We've already had a massive feedback session where it's like, God, what can we do next year? How can we improve what we did? Where did we fall down? Where did we, I don't know, where can we, tweak and twist? So, no, I'm so chuffed with what we did.
And as a result of that, you've also got, which somebody described to me as the drunken love child of the Extravaganza, which is the afterburn.
Which is the drunken love child.
Which is all of the collaborations that happened as a result of you bringing all of those people into the UK at one time, which is happening in a few weeks' time. And which, I must admit, I saw it on Twitter. It popped up in my feed that it was happening. And then the next thing that popped up was that it was sold out. So again, you look down the list of collaborations that have happened as a result of the festival that you created. Again, you must be able to take a step back from that and be quite happy with the result of that.
Do you know what? I'm proud because we're all mates. We're all buddies. We're all brothers and sisters together, and that shows the depth of the friendship, I think, and of the I don't know what the word is, the kind of community and family that we're involved within. That you can get these great breweries flying in from everywhere and going, oh, by the way, dude, Cloudwater, Magic Rock or Siren, can we come and brew? And yeah, of course. there's always an open door, I think, within our world, and that's one of the things that makes it such a special industry. So to pull that all together was a great idea. So I think, it just kind of made sense that all these beers are brewed. I don't know how many we've got. Is it like 14 or 16 or something?
It's a ridiculous amount. I mean,
outside of what we brewed as well. So it's going to be a nice array of beers, and again, it's another celebration, a reason to celebrate. It's going to be some great beer from some great British breweries and some great friends from across the water.
So, are we going to see the Extravaganza again next year?
Yeah,
it's that's it now. You're happy with what you've done, and you're just going to get better at it.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's all you can do is try and improve. And as I say, we've looked at what we can do, and it's tough when you fly in nearly 700 beers from some amazing breweries, all of them amazing. You have to, and you try and plan how much beer you can fly in. How much are they going to sell in a session? Okay, and then you kind of recalculate that for next year. And there's little things we can do, but I think overall we're super stoked with the way it went, and we're going to be working with the same venue, which was the main thing, obviously, to rebook the place. They were super supportive, and really helped our team out. So we couldn't ask for a better place to put it on. And God willing, it'll be the same time next year.
Excellent. What's next for Beavertown? Where do you go now?
As a brewery, we've made some great additions recently in our team, and that's about helping our team to grow as individuals and as a group of people. So that's always key. To continue to stimulate and innovate in what we do, to keep having fun, and eventually, whether it's in 18 months or 24 months, there'll be a whole new horizon for Beavertown, and it's going to be really exciting. So there's lots of planning to be done, but I can't wait. I really can't wait, and I think underneath it all, we've only just still scratched the surface of what we can all achieve as brewers of great beer in the UK, in Europe, in the world. So I can't wait to just keep going.
I think that's great. I mean that, like I said at the outset, we spoke to you 3 years ago, and you pretty much said exactly the same thing then. But if you look back in what you've achieved in 3 years, you've achieved an awful amount, but yet you're still sitting here saying there's still more to do.
There's loads more to do.
There's still much more
there's
to
so
do.
Much more to do, yeah.
It sounds like there's some really exciting times.
There is, I think, for everybody involved in people who are considerate about what they do, how they do it. Working with bars and accounts and working with the big supermarkets, whatever it might be, there's so much more that we can do to make great beer a mainstay in life in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it, and just still the coincidence of happening across one another in Berlin of all places. Yeah. I hope the event goes well tonight as well, and that you're able to bring the Beavertown to the guys here and let people sample some of the great beers that you do.
Thanks. Yeah,
cheers.
It's going to be great.